Welcome to Upper Sandusky Community Library's Crafternoon. My name is Rachel and I'll be helping you make this month's craft, our Bee Happy Beehive. So if you've already been to the library and gotten your craft pack, grab some scissors and your glue gun and let's get started. Now if you don't have a glue gun, we are offering you the chance to check one out at the front desk at the library. So if you don't have one handy, just stop on up and we'll be glad to hook you up with that. So take everything out of your pack, and what we're going to be starting with is your plastic pot and your rope. Take your packaging off your rope, and also on the ends of each of your rope there's a piece of tape that keeps them from fraying. Go ahead and cut that off as well. Now to begin, we're going to start here at the bottom lip of our pot. Now these are very thin pots, so what we're going to do when we add the hot glue guns, we're going to work from the top and we're going to spin the pot instead of putting our hands on the inside, because ouch, believe me, I did it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the bottom. Take your warmed up glue gun. We're going to work in small sections. That way the glue doesn't harden on us. I just start here at the bottom. Now this initial one, you'll have to get your hands down there a little bit to make sure that's stopped. And put your rope to one side. Then it's easier if you set it down on a surface. Then you can just go a couple inches at a time. Put your rope in and work on the outside. Then you can just keep spinning your pot and keep adding your glue to your pot and wrap your rope around. You're just going to keep circling around, keeping your fingers on the outside of the rope to press it down. And you want it to be stacked on top of each other. It'll look something like this. You can see here how we're just kind of looped right up on top of the other, and we got all the way to the top. Now when you get to the very edge, we're going to start working circles on the inside to kind of create that dome on the top of our beehive. So what you'll do is, well, first of all, it'd be a good idea kind of practice first so you see how tight you want your loops to be. So what I mean by that is just start circling around on the edge, and now we're going to stack the rope kind of on top of each other, and the loops will get smaller and smaller. So I'll just do this. You can see that. And then we'll make another smaller loop, and then a smaller loop. And you'll see here, I started a little bit too small, and now I got this dangly rope. So I know from that I can keep my loops a little bit bigger at the first. So we can start there. So I know I'm going to probably make one more loop on top of the last one. And then as you work yourself in, it'll be smaller loops, and you'll be gluing those on top of each other until you get to the end, and then you just tuck your end at the top, and then tuck your end kind of inside of it, like that. And that's kind of how it's going to look like. So just glue it. Again, you're just going to be gluing on top of the rope as you stack it up. So once you get that finished, what you're going to do is in your bag you have one of these tiny little pieces of twine. And if you look on our finished one, what we're going to do is about a ½ inch or so from the bottom, you are just going to, I'll show you on this one, just going to make a circle. Might help if you did it first so you get an idea. And then kind of get an idea of where you want to position it. And then you're just going to make a glue circle. And then you're just going to glue that piece of twine in there. Careful on this one because your little fingers are closer to the glue on this one. So you'll make that circle. And that's kind of the entrance for our little bees, our happy little bees. Now it doesn't look so great right now, as you can tell, especially on this half-finished pot. Just kind of make sure your ends are tucked down. You might have to glue them a little bit. Now on the inside of this, we're going to fill this with black paint. Now what I did on this one, and it worked out pretty well, I think, is that I just snipped the bottom of my paint bag with scissors, and then I just squirted it inside the circle because that piece of twine kind of acted like a nice little bumper for it. And then once I squirted a good percentage of it in there, then I just took this little sponge that we have in your pack and then just kind of spread it around and tucked it in the edges. That way it went all the way and completely filled the circle. So then you have your nice entrance there. Now, once you got the entrance for your beehive, then we need to add some decoration before we add the bees. If you'll take out of your bag, you have a yellow ribbon and a black ribbon. Now this was purely a cost measure because printed ribbon is a lot more expensive than plain. So for budget's sake, we have 2 ribbons here. Now if you're very handy, you can tie the ribbon when they're both still loose and you're really good at ribbon tying. I am not good at ribbon tying. So what I recommend, if you're a little bit like me, is go ahead and put a little bit of glue dots on the black piece and adhere it to your other ribbon, to your yellow ribbon. Or you can do a thin line of glue along the top of your yellow ribbon and then just carefully, and watch your fingers on this, guys, just tap that down so that it is attached. Now, on the back of your directions, I put some pictorials of how to tie a bow. Now, I'll be honest, I had to do this 2 or 3 times before I got it right. So if you have a better way of bow tying, then you go for it, and maybe send me an email with some pictures so that I know how to do it better. But this will walk you through how to tie a bow. And at the end, your bow should look something like this. You'll see how he is there. We got our black and our yellow, kind of our bumblebee homage. So we have your ribbon. Now, if you'll notice up here, I just glued mine here at the top. That way, you kind of finished off the top. And if you have, like on this one, see, I didn't quite fill that hole all the way. It kind of distracts from that as well. So you put your bow at the top, and if you like it someplace else, honey, go for it. But that's where I stuck mine. So you put your bow up here, and then we can get our little bumblebees. Now these guys, if you look on the back, they have these teeny tiny little like pop dots. I wouldn't trust just the pop dot to stick to this rope. So what I do is I went ahead, I took off the piece of paper, just to add more sticky. And then I put a dollop of the hot glue on that. And then you can just stick them anywhere you want to on your beehive. I stuck one on the ribbon. You can stick them, I can even put one right here in the little black hole like he's going home. So you can see where I put mine around there. Again, I think everybody got 3 or 4 of those, so just put them wherever makes you happy. And so there at the end, once you get your bees and your ribbon on and your beehive entrance done, you'll have your Bee Happy Beehive. I think it looks pretty good. Well, thank you so much for joining me this month, and I hope to see you come in next month for our Happy 4th of July sign that we'll be making, and that'll be available the first Thursday of June. So thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful week.